I wish I would have found a system like Vulcan earlier in life. I didn't know what I didn't know. I was so used to dialing manually and just hitting button on Vulcan and it dials and it just goes to the next one. You're done. Amazing amount of time management. It's just quick. I can do 120 phone calls an hour, roughly. I usually have 5 to 7 an hour conversations, good quality conversations.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's me, it's Aaron Wittenstein, and we are here with Vulcan7 Roadmap. We're going to teach you from agents across the country how to take an additional 2, 3, 4 listings a week, okay? And we actually have someone, that I've known for a bit over here. He's always on Vulcan7 pregame. He's always on Take 52. Josh Brown from Northern Illinois. Can you please give everybody a big hello?
Hello to the Vulcan7 community. I'm Josh Brown. I'm with Berkshire Hathaway here in Northern Illinois.
So, like I said, Josh and I got the ability to kind of meet one another through pregame. How can I put this? What I love about Josh, he's always the one raising his hand. He's always the one to give his opinions and, give help with people. And I just think that's absolutely amazing because, he's right there. And Josh, what I found was interesting is we were talking a little bit before over here. You used to go and actually get all your data on your own. Is that correct?
Yeah, so I have a local database we use, and I used to print off all my phone numbers, and I would dial them manually for a long time. And I mean, it worked. I got deals that way. And then, a while back, a year and a half ago, I found Vulcan7, and it's like, wow, I can just put all this information into this. I mean, Vulcan's great because you can get the expireds, invisibles, all that, but I do a lot of my business, Aaron, is probates and inherited properties, absentee owners, like, multifamily, single family. So I was able to put templates in there, and I love the dialer. I absolutely love it. I can just create my own thing and go. It makes life much easier, much quicker, and I can keep notes. So yeah, that's a big improvement. And, the efficiency is up, well over 200% in the last 12 months for dialing more and just making better conversations.
So, I mean, we're in a very interesting market is the best way to put it here. So tell me, how's your last 30 days done? I mean, what are you most proud of in your production, in general, but how have the last 30 days been for you?
Last 30 days have been pretty good. We've closed about 5 deals, mostly single family. 3 of those were list side, 2 were buy side, and 4 of those were new clients. 1 was a past client. So things are going pretty good in my market here. We're still seeing multiple offers and things like that. And one of those deals was a multiple offer. So those are still happening depending on the purchase price range. I got no complaints. It's been good, and things are looking forward. I'm looking forward to a good September, October.
No, that's amazing. So, I mean, in general, because you said you used to do REO transactions, and then you shifted, what year was it that you shifted into doing non-REO deals?
Yeah, so I've been a broker over 10 years, and I started in REOs with Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, local banks, stuff like that back in 2013. And that was how I started out because it's where the market was. I was doing 1 to 2 a month, and I got up to 5 a month, 6 a month, and it was a great business. But as time went by, the market improved. We had less REOs. So about 2016, the volume I was doing was probably less than half of what I started out. So I was building my database with friends and family, clients, past clients and friends to build my business. And so I transitioned into that over a period of, probably 2 years. And then I think by 18, REOs are pretty much gone. So it was a big transition for me to having a pipeline of business. You had to do a lot of work for those, but you had the business coming in. You didn't have to prospect in a sense. It was one customer, but I can tell you when you have 1 or 2 customers and your inventory goes away, you got to get out there and work. And so finding a system, obviously I did it manually for a while, but finally finding a better system like Vulcan where you can just put it all in there and go made a big efficiency for me and my business. That brings us today where I'm doing expireds now, probates, and absentee orders of all kind. That's the majority of my business. Some of that's past clients and sellers and things like that. So it was a great transition.
So what would you say you're doing? What, 25% absentee, 25% probate, 25% expired, and like 25% database, something like that? I mean, am I in the wheel?
Yeah, I'd say it's pretty close to that. I'd say the absentee is a lot higher. I'd say absentee is probably 35%. Uh, uh, Canceled and expired is probably 25%, and then probate, inherited properties, trustees, that kind of stuff's probably, I don't know, 25, 30%. The rest is, for just common, average everyday friends or relatives, or people that just need to do a regular sale.
So when it comes to expireds, it sounds like you've really gotten into that. Did I catch it right? Like over the last year, is that correct?
Yeah, I never really did a lot of expireds, but one of Vulcan's premier features is the expireds and cancel. And so I had to, it's the lowest hanging fruit. So it's a little different mindset for me where I had to be on top of the game, 8 o'clock every morning, learn the script and get very good at the script through practicing. And I didn't really have a role play partner. So for me, it was just excessively doing it to get good at it. And that's kind of what, helped me out. So, on average, I probably get 2 listings a month from just expires.
So it's 2 listings at 24. I mean, that's pretty solid, for only doing it for like a year. And I mean, so let me ask you this, because, people get rolling, they get started. And how long did it take you until you started seeing results? Was it like right out of the gate? Did it take a little bit of time?
It's funny because the first one I did, the first week I did, I called them expired, and they're like, yeah, why don't you just come on over? And I called them first thing in the morning. I came over, and, it's like, wow, this is great for me the first time. And we closed on it, and it was a nice price range. But that was kind of one off on its own. After that, I bet it was probably 90 days of really grinding the script, 3 hours a day, expireds, past expireds. What I mean by past expireds is like 30, 60, 90 days. Sometimes I go back as far as 180. And the 4th or 5th phone call or follow up or circling around with them, that's where I really got the majority of them. I still get some on the first phone call. That could just be because I'm calling at the right time or I'm the first agent, but majority of them were 3, 4, 5 calls following up over a period of time.
So that's the way that, this as well as I do. When you put the work in, you get the results 90 days later. And exactly. But you get when you get a win here and there, right? Just to kind of, get it going. But all right. So do you have a particular script that you work with right now? Or like, what are you saying to people?
I just use the Mike Ferry script. That pretty much works for me real well.
Tried and true right there, man. Tried and true, with that script. So right now, how many hours a day are you dialing, and what is your dial session like? Do you have a system in place for what you dial in general right now?
Yeah, so I just use the Vulcan7 system. I have a headset that just connects right to my laptop, so I dial through my browser, and I'm on at 8 o'clock every morning to 11 o'clock. That's my morning session. And then from 11 to 1, it's all the follow-ups, emails, all that. And I usually do appointments from probably 2 to 5 most of the time. Sometimes they're a little before after that. But if I don't have appointments, I'm usually on doing an afternoon session for, 90 minutes. Sometimes just a little bit longer because I don't want to sit still. My actions and my time today spent produced for tomorrow or the day after.
Can you repeat that? Would you mind repeating what you just said? Can you do that?
Yeah, my actions that I do today, meaning how much time I spend today, is the fruit of my labor for tomorrow and the day after. And so I have learned that, I could just do 3 hours a morning and hit my 16 or 17 contacts, but, I can do more than that. I guess it all depends. I'm driven. I want to get to a point where I'm getting 4 listings a month consistently. I'm not there yet. And to me, that means more dialing, the better quality of dialing. And just, that's the only way I know how to get it done quicker.
I love about that statement. You probably don't even realize you said it. I'm not there yet. I don't even realize if you notice the power with what you said right there. I'm not there yet you will be there soon. You know what I mean? Just by the sheer, by what you shared with us here, the work ethic alone, by doing that, like that's just, people don't realize is like, if you don't have anything going on, pick up the phone. Because what do you have better to do? What are you going to go have a second lunch or watch some TV or something like that? So,
I mean, yeah, you could, but I don't know. I'm goal oriented. Maybe not everybody's goal oriented, but I am, and I want results. And when I got to 2 listings a month, that's great. All right, let's set a new one, 4 listings a month. I'm not there yet, but when I get there, then I'll shoot for 6 listings a month. It will happen, but that's all based off of my habits, how much I'm putting into it. I mean, whether you're an investor, a broker, a realtor, whatever, real estate gives you what you put into it. It's that simple.
it's true. And that goes, I mean, realistically, that goes with anything that you do. When you put the activity in, the results will follow. But that's what it comes down to, is you do the work, you will get the result. It may not be today yet, it will be tomorrow. So, all right, so you're dialing 8 to 11, let's say you're Monday through Friday, 8 to 11. Like, what's your, how can I put this? Who are you calling first? Who are you calling second? Who are you calling third? What does that look like?
Yeah, Aaron. So the first thing I do, I'm usually on about 7:30. I'm going through my Vulcan account, looking through all my new expireds. I get all of them. I get industrial, I get land. So I I don't always do some of those. So I kind of go through real quick, just make sure, hey, I want to spend my time as efficient as I can, right? So I can do more calls. So I typically do single families, duplexes, residential properties mainly. As soon as 8 o'clock comes, I hit the dialer, I'm going on that first one. And I just go through them till I get through all of them, all the new expireds. And I do, I have a folder system that Jim Chamberlain gave me. I do 1 through 10, basically, and I move them up every time. After that, I move right into probate because they are a very hot commodity too. You want to get to those. So I do my probates. I do a similar folder system, 1 through 5 with the probates. And then I typically hit just sold. So like if I list a property and I sell it, I do circle prospecting. I do what's called just sold right away. That's my next group. And then I'll hit absentee owners. So I'll hit absentee owners. I have a couple different folders for 1 hour solid. And then I typically do some type of circle prospecting, which would be like multifamily or just neighborhood areas. And then that consists of most of my day. I have a file called service partners, like my attorneys, accountants, professionals on my team, contractors I use, that I touch base with once a month because they are a great referral source. I try to give them business and they give it back to me. So that's another important group for me. And then after that, I do usually twice a week. It might be more in the afternoon. I'll do like my sphere, past clients, sellers, people like that, friends.
So what it sounds like to me is with the effort you're putting in and the diversified effort you're putting in right now is you're really building a market-proof system. Because let's say absentee slows down, you have probate slows down, you've got your database, you got expires. Because, as we know, you got to have 5 to 7 spokes in the wheel. And it sounds to me as though you're doing that. Am I right?
Yes, absolutely. And my 5 main ones are expired, canceled, probate, just listed, just sold, absentee, and circle prospecting. Those are the 5 I try to hit every day. Sometimes the volume in those groups are a little bit higher or lower depending on what's going on in the marketplace. And then I circle back around with those other ones. I have no time calling for 3 hours a day. I mean, I have a new list of 562 absentee owners. So I have no problem through Vulcan system pulling numbers to call.
So I guess, here's my question. How do you fit this? Like, that's a lot. How do you fit this all in?
Call more than 3 hours a day.
But, like I said, you got that, you got deals going, all this type of stuff. It's pretty impressive because, I'm just curious how you kind of get it all in. That's a lot of work.
Well, up here, this might help. I'll go over my daily routine. Would that be something you want to hear?
That was going to be my next question. That's perfect. Thank you.
Bro, my daily routine, I get up at 4 a.m. every morning. I kind of do my 20 minutes of exercising, stretches, whatever that may be. I hit the shower, do that. 6 o'clock comes. I'm sorry, 5 o'clock comes. I have everything set up to come up on my MLS at 5. So at 5, I'm hitting all the new hot sheets, meaning new, private network, uh, closed, under contract. Then I have searches for my buyers. I hit through all of them. Okay. I'm checking through my emails. Anything I can answer, I get back to that. Okay. That's usually between 5 and 6:30. 6:30 to 7, it's just getting my sons off to school and do that. 7:30, I'm back here going through my script practice, pulling Vulcan, checking that out. At 8 o'clock to 11, I'm on Vulcan dialing all day long, between those hours, between 8 and 11. And I actually hold a mastermind group, Midwest Dialers, so if anybody's interested in that, we're on there too. 11 to 1, I have a quick lunch. I'm doing phone calls and emails, catching up with, just servicing the accounts, deals that are under contract right now, things along that nature. And then I have appointments usually from about 1 to 5, depending on the day of, going out on listing appointments. If there's any type of property that needs my attention through a contingent property that we need. And if I'm not doing listing appointments, I'm back dialing. And I usually do that like 2 to 4 in the afternoon. And then once in a while I get an evening appointment, and then it's basically family time in the evening. And I do my listing inputs, my marketing, all that stuff in the early morning. So that's basically my daily routine. I get up at 7 days a week. Okay. I don't dial on Sunday. That's kind of the family day, but I'm still checking stuff. That's my habits pretty much. And they took a long time to get that way too.
What time do you go to bed?
8:30 or 9.
All right, so let me just get this straight. I just want to make sure everybody's clear here. You work realist. I mean, like I said, you're up at 4. You're working from 5, but you're done by 5 every day, and you get to spend the evening with your family.
Yeah, I'm done by 5 most of the time. Once in a while, I'll get an appointment that just, it's a good deal. Yeah, I got to make it at 6. Otherwise, I can do a Zoom call. I prefer in person, but a lot of the absentee owners, they're out of state. That's a specific group, out of state absentee owners. So I do Zoom meetings with them, and I can do that during the business day.
No, it's just, it's nice to see you're very system oriented. Your time management is phenomenal. And I'm going to venture to guess, just kind of knowing what you share, you don't stray from that. Your time is your time. You respect your time, and that's what happens. Am I right?
Yeah, very rarely do I stray from it. I'm still human, so we still have some of that stuff. But if I'm not doing, like if for some reason I'm on a trip for a day or something's just going on, it feels very funny not doing my morning routine and dialing and all that stuff. Like it's conscious, it's there. And I think that's a good thing to have, because it's like, that's where you should be.
All right. So let's say, put you on the spot for a second. Let's say it's 8:47 and a phone call comes in with an offer from Sally, the agent on Main Street. Do you take that phone call, or do you wait till after 11?
I wait till 11.
So
I can't, I used to, a long time ago I used to, but it interrupts my pattern. And the phone's just, the ringer's off, it's on the vibrate, whatever you want to do. And I have to stay focused on dialing, because you know what? We all get referrals. We all have past clients and sellers, but outbound prospecting, I've found to be the next best thing. And yeah, in the beginning, shiny things did help me a little bit, and I wasn't the best, but I just cut all that out, and my efficiency is probably 200 to 300 times better just ignoring all that. It's not like someone was in an emergency, right? Nothing's going to happen to 11. It can wait, right? That's kind of how I view. We're still going to put our deals together. We're still going to get our contract signed and stuff, but I have plenty of time for that outside of 8 to 11.
That's the answer that I was hoping to hear, and I did not expect anything less than that answer right there, my friend. So, all right, I ask everybody this question. All right, you're sitting at your desk, and a new agent walks by your office and says, Josh, what is one piece of advice that you can give me? What is that one piece of advice?
I wish I would have found a system like Vulcan earlier in life. I didn't know what I didn't know, and I was so used to just, we had spreadsheets of numbers, and I dial manually and just hitting button on Vulcan, and it dials and it just goes to the next when you're done. Amazing amount of time management. And And going through your browser on Wi-Fi is how I dial it. So you don't have, not that I paid more for it, but it's just quick. I can do 120 phone calls an hour, roughly. I think that's about right. But obviously, you have some conversations. I usually have 5 to 7 an hour conversations, good quality conversations. And that didn't happen right away. It took my skills base to get better, asking the right questions. My biggest hurdle that I had even into this a few months, dialing it manually, was not knowing how to respond to a no. And so I had to get better at when someone says no to have another question. And that's with absentee or probate or expired, any of those. So changing that made me ask better questions and get better answers and results.
That's awesome. It's good advice. That's good advice. So final words, my friend. What do you got?
I guess, if people have interest in a dialing system, I've found Vulcan7 to be very good. I think it's priced great for the market and what you get. They got the neighborhood search data that you can pull. I'm an organized person. I'm a numbers person. That all makes sense to me. So, if people are not on the system yet, hopefully this testimonial maybe give you some light on that and these things like that.
No, I mean, I want to thank you for coming on here. Like I said, regularly, we hang out on the pregame show, yet what you're bringing to the business. And it's not just that. What I love about you right now, honestly, you're calm, cool, and collected. And I think if you don't notice, that is so important, just to stay that even keel, because this business, we go up and down and up and down and up and down. And I'm going to venture to guess you kind of maintain this level.
It is. And you have to maintain the discipline. I mean, the last 30 days has been great, but, June and July, I'm still dialing, but, I have events with kids going on in the summer. And when you don't do as much work, your listing business can go down. But you know what? You have the opportunity, like now when everything's back, I guess school's going on, you can do it more again. And what other business and system, regardless of your system, what other business can you decide how busy you want to be and how much money you want to make? I mean, I maybe there is another one, I don't know, but I found this one to be just put the work in. And it's not easy. It is not easy, Aaron. It's a very simple business, but it's not easy. It takes months. But if you do it more than 3 hours a day, 5 or 6, you're going to get results quicker, I think.
And we're going to leave it at that. That was phenomenal, my friend. Josh, thank you very much for being here. And everybody, we'll look out for more Vulcan7 Roadmap. Take care.
Thanks, Aaron.